Next, we have Neve from Amnesty International here to speak to us today.
Thanks so much. Salam alaikum, friends. It's good to be here with you. The weather obviously could have been better. We could have all gathered yesterday in the beautiful sunshine, but I don't think it would have been as powerful. It wouldn't have been as meaningful, because to look out and see all of you, see the rain coming down, see the umbrellas, and see every single face full of determination and resistance, that's what this weather is about today, and that's what this struggle is all about. So bravo for coming out and for sticking with it today. As we all know, for well over 3 months now, Sudanese women and men and young people have been coming out of their homes in ever-growing numbers, out into the streets, the marketplaces, public places, in cities and towns and villages across the country. And they've been coming for one very simple reason, because they have had enough. You have had enough. And they are saying clearly and courageously that 30 years of cruel repression, harsh violence, and unrelenting human rights violations at the hands of Sudanese President Bashir must end, and must end now. Decades of violence that led up to South Sudan's independence. They have called out genocide in Darfur and waited for President al-Bashir to face justice and accountability at the International Criminal Court. They have demanded that war crimes and crimes against humanity end in southern Kordofan and Blue Nile states. They have pressed for women's equality. They have insisted that space open up for debate and dissent and criticism and freedom. And they have made it absolutely clear that torture, the death penalty, arbitrary arrests, unlawful imprisonment, unfair trials must come to an end. In all of that, they have made it clear, you have made it clear, that your vision, your demand is of a Sudan in which fundamental human rights for every single woman, man, and child in the country are embraced and are respected for everyone in all corners. That, of course, has always inevitably been met with a violent crackdown from al-Bashir's government, and sadly, it has largely been met with indifference and inaction by the rest of the world. But this time is different, because this time Sudan is uprising. Sudan uprising. And Sudan uprising is different. This time the people of Sudan have made it very clear that they will not be put down. They will not be suppressed. They will not be ignored. They will not be dismissed. No matter the cruelty and violence of al-Bashir's response. And we have seen that repeatedly over these past 3 months. The state of emergency decrees are the latest example. But despite all of that, the people of Sudan, your sisters and brothers and mothers and fathers and friends and cousins, have made it clear that they will not end the protests. They will not stop uprising. And no matter how long it takes for the world to wake up and take action and put real and concerted measures in place, the people of Sudan are not going back into their homes. They are not leaving the streets, and they are not going to hide away from a bit of rain. Dos goedef.
Bas.
Dos goedef.
Bas.
Das goedef. Das gut best!
Das gut best!
Das gut best!
Das gut best!
Das good best!
Das gut best!
So Sudan uprising, yes, these have been harrowing months. We know it across Sudan. Dozens have been killed. Hundreds have been injured. Thousands have been unlawfully and arbitrarily arrested and locked up. But this time, I tell you, friends, the world is with you. Amnesty International across Canada and around the world is with you. And just like you will not give up and go away until rights and justice prevail, we will not either. We will stay with you in this struggle. And how fitting it is, as on this spring day, winter insists that it's still with us, that we are gathering on Parliament Hill. Because we have a message to our government here as well, don't we?
Yes.
Obviously, we are sending a message thousands of kilometers away to Khartoum and to al-Bashir's government. But we are here because we also have a message for the Canadian government, for Justin Trudeau's government, and for all parliamentarians who work in that building behind us and over there these days. And that is that we demand and insist more from Canada. It's not enough to express regret. It's not enough to hope that things will get better. Canada needs to act, needs to put pressure on Sudan, needs to be working diligently at the United Nations Human Rights Council and all other UN bodies, needs to be joining up with governments across the world in sending a strong message that this time it is not indifference, inaction, and dismissal from the international community. This time it is all about rights and justice, and this time rights and justice will prevail. Thank you very much for the honor to be with you here this afternoon, friends. I've been to Sudan myself several times and have always been inspired by the courage and struggle of people at the front lines, and it's inspiring to be with you here today in the rain and see that same energy. Sudan is uprising, and we will not go away until that uprising leads to justice, to rights, and to freedom. Das gut best! Das gut best!
Das gut best!
Das gut best!
Das gut best!
Das gut best!
Das gut best!
Freedom, friends!